That's right, it's Friday. Uh, Good morning, everybody. All 4 or 5 of you who are out there who aren't bots. It turns out, yeah, we might. Let me stress that in capital words. So tall that the Martians are reading them while they're touching themselves to the Taylor Swift stuff. All right, the Showgirl tour or whatever. That yeah, they might have recovered missing episodes. I really hope they have. But at the same time, like I said before, let's wait and see if something actually materializes. Um, I would like to be thrilled. I would like to be jumping for joy. I would like to be, but like I said, the closest thing we've had to real Doctor Who news in a long time was, of course, the marriage of I'm going to screw up the name again. Please forgive me. Anjali Mahindra and, of course, Sasha Dewan. Like I said, met Sasha. I got a chance to look him in the eye and tell him, look, when I found out you were getting the master, and like I said, I'll admit it was a while before they announced it, so I was like, I thought, oh god, this is champagne casting, which is cool because I got to use that term. But okay, and he smiled a bit and he thanked me. He seemed like a rather humble fellow. Like I said, I wish them all the happiness on planet Earth, but I didn't have a chance to be there to warn him. Don't do it! No, I'm kidding. Um, Marriage is bliss. All right. But they did have a beautiful ceremony from what I've seen of the pictures and all that. So, but yeah, allegedly missing episodes were covered. There has not been any titles that I can find. I don't know. There has not been any, date for an announcement that I can find. All I know is this: one of the weirdest things was one of the most widely distributed episodes that was passed around out there was Marco Polo. And they're still in shock that they didn't recover any of Marco Polo. Um, because that was the one that, that got passed around the most, for across most markets. And everyone's like, why don't they animate Marco Polo? And I said, I've talked to a few people, who worked in and around that type of stuff. And they said, yeah, well, it's because there's scenes where there's so many people in a scene. And that's one of the tricks to when you're doing these animations is, you want to try to stay as true as you can to the source material, but, there's some things that are tough to do. So, I thought it said Asia as an aria. It's like Asia, one of my favorite bands from the later part of the 70s. Oh, have you ever taken shrooms? Actually, no, I don't usually take them. I do every now and then. They're growing out in the yard, but it's like I'm not sure if them are the poisonous ones, so I usually just leave them alone. Okay, too many costume. I'm not sure what that word was, Mike. I'm sorry. Plus, of course, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you can't do things like that." White men were playing Mongols or whatever. And wait. Let's see. Marco Polo was. That was when the Doctor, I think, played against Kublai Khan for the TARDIS, wasn't it, or something like that? It was a long time since I've listened to that because the only way you can is to listen to it pretty much because I think there was a Telesnaps version that was up for a long time on Daily Motion. But the problem is Telesnaps don't work for me. I've tried watching Telesnap versions of episodes and for some reason they just kind of lull me and then I fall asleep. It's not because of the material, the content. It's just, I don't know. Was it chess or what do you call it? Some other game. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I, watched, aka listened to Marco Polo. But I remember, yeah, he had. I read most of that. I remember that because a book I picked up a long time ago was the Doctor Who Program Guide, and I read a lot of the descriptions and synopses for the first series episodes and stuff like that, first Doctor episodes, and was it a card game? I can't remember. Um, if somebody finds it, be sure to throw it in the chat. I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a long time since I looked into that particular episode. But yeah, a lot of people thought they'd find Marco Polo before they found anything, and sure enough, it never materialized. Oh boy, is somebody in trouble, speaking of the world type stuff. Somebody who we all know and love, who was once the big climatologist and is now the voice for the, for the weak, oppressed, Palestinian, whatever, Israeli occupation, whatever. Great, Little Miss Greta Thunberg. I have to mention this because I could not believe how stupid this was. Posted images on this site claiming they were of Palestinians being oppressed and tortured and all this. One of the photos that's on there is of an Israeli man being forced to dig his own grave by Hamas or Palestinian terrorists. And I'm like, wow. Seriously? I'm like, you didn't fact check that shit? Ugh. So I hate to bring a real world thing, but it kind of shows you how ass backwards we're getting on this planet. It's just, not to mention the Freedom Flotilla, which had no food on it to be distributed. Other than some first aid kits for the crew, they had like a few boxes of gauze packages, and that's it. Like I said, I would love to do big fat news things about Doctor Who, but guess what? It's not happening anymore. There's nothing going on. Other than apparently, the TARDIS set is still there, despite, previous claims. I was told the TARDIS console was removed for some reason, but it could be they were just updating it or something, or cleaning it, who knows. But it was obviously back when Prince William visited. And of course, our usual assortment of lackeys out there who are milking the thing for money and are there to kiss Prince William's butt and, probably humming "Oh Britannia" as they kiss the brown starfish. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Ugh. Well, Tennant and Piper want a lot of things, and they're not in charge of the show, but yeah, I'm going to be watching the last episode of Peacemaker when I get in. And it's kind of sad, too, because it seems like all the good stuff is the stuff they don't want to keep making. Oh. And then when they do make it, you get it every couple of years. I don't know if movie format would work for Doctor Who, because the problem is, there are a lot of Whovians out there. How are you going to explain that to the general audience? They tried that with the 96 movie, and it didn't really work back then. It's kind of scary when I wake up and realize it's been almost 30 years since the 96 movie. Next year will be the 30th anniversary of the Paul McGann being introduced as the Doctor. And of course, him getting shafted later on, and he should have had at least a few episodes of his own. Ugh. But the good news is it's Friday. Don't have to work tomorrow. Oh, so you like looking at the landscape of the planet Baldus. Notice a few of the trees are growing a bit high. Sadly, there's still a massive famine right up here in the center country. Oh, all right. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up on the chat a bit. No, I just said it's hard for me to wake up and realize it's been 30 years since the 96 movie. I look at myself every day and know it's been at least 30 years. Over half a century on this planet, and I'm just amazed at how ass backwards we can go in a second. Yeah, one of the things I have been doing while I've been trapped in here is I've been listening to a lot of historical stuff, and I got caught up on the Reign of Terror and stuff like that, for that historical era, and a lot of the crazy shit they were doing then. The thing is, Tennant keeps, wants a doctor. Of course Tennant wants a doctor in the movie. Come on, the guy doesn't stop moving. Just ask his poor wife. Got her firing out babies like a machine gun. Oh yeah, the Nightmare Fair, that's right. If I remember right, Nightmare Fair, wasn't that the one that was a lost episode? That was Doctor and Perry, and it would have had the toy maker back at the beginning of the season, but of course that's of that next season, but there was no next season back then. That's when the show went on hiatus. And of course, re-emerged with the Seventh Doctor. What the hell was that? Oh, some imbecile with his bass speaker. It depends on which gap you're talking about, Oliver. The gap up me head or the gap here. Haha. Sorry, not all of us were born perfect like you. Do cherubs whistle out your asshole when you take a shite? Oh. Ugh. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a dude's motorcycle. Okay, I thought it was a bass speaker. So, oh, look at my motor penis. I'm sorry, that's all motorcycles are to me. Sorry guys, I was just in an accident last year where I took a 60-mile-an-hour broadside, okay? I can't imagine, being out there, on a motorcycle where there's nothing between you and the other cars. Just can't do it. I'm sorry. I got to have a couple feet of steel between me and the opposing object, Ugh, and some airbags and stuff like that. So, possible missing episodes recovered. Yeah, Tennant wants a movie. Yay, bully for him. It's not going to happen. RTD and all that talking about everything but the show and when it's going to return, or if they've got a decision, because now we're waiting till next year after the war between the land and the sea airs. Oh, they better hope. Well, like I said, I hope it doesn't suck, but I don't know. Well, folks, I just hit the time marker, so please be kind, be calm, be safe, enjoy your weekends. We will see you all hopefully back here on Monday morning. But if we have anything pop up over the weekend, I'll pop in and let you know. But until then, please be kind, be calm, be safe, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, have a good one. Catch you all on the flip side.